people, and welcome back to Jon Sheppard Fitness. Today we're going to be doing a natty or not on Frank Grillo. If you don't know who Frank Grillo is, he is an American actor from New York. Got Italian blood in him. Quite a few Marvel films, especially Captain America films, where he was a supervillain as Crossbones. He's also been in films like The Purge. That's where he really got his first big break in the films. And recently on Men's Health, has shown his workout, because this guy is absolutely ripped and jacked, and he's 55 years old. So I'm gonna see if he is a natty or not. If he is natural, because obviously being 55 and as ripped and is in good shape as him, plus some of the stuff he does to stay in shape for a 55-year-old is amazing. So then we're going to go through it all and show you what I actually think. Is he actually natural, or is he another superstar in the film industry, which he's just taking some sort of PDs just to make himself look better? See, he is a good looking guy. He is sitting around 170. He's sitting around 170 pounds, and he's about 5'10". So he's not the biggest person, but 170 pounds at 5% body fat. That's what he says. I don't think he is. I think he's more like about, I would say about 10, maybe 8 minimum. But still, for 55 years old, if I look like that at 55, I'm going to be happy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through what he actually does first. I'm on the Men's Health page, and I'm just going to go through some of the things he actually says. So there's a 50-year-old man looking across from me, looking like he could take my head off clean in one shot. Frank Grillo, who plays a supervillain in Crossbones, in Captain America Civil War, compared with the veins on the right side of his neck, they look like hydraulic cylinders to help the Terminator turn his head. So yeah, he does look a menacing person. I do think he is a good actor. He goes on about him and his career. You know, obviously he starred, his main big role, what he made a breakthrough in, was The Purge Anarchy, and this is where it starts to get interesting. He's a very, very keen martial arts expert. He does Jiu Jitsu. He's trained from an early age, from his mid-20s. So he's very, very handy with his fists, and he can actually look after himself. So his roles he plays, he can actually do in real life, which I didn't know about, because obviously a lot of actors do actually just train for the roles and then not really actually into that fighting. So you see he's got like pictures of him working out. He is a machine. He looks like a machine. He's like I say, he's basically 50. He is 55. So he is 55, but people are saying he's got a body of a 30-year-old. He's got a body of a 20-year-old. I mean, he's ripped. I mean, he's absolutely ripped. Like I say, 170 pounds ripped is good. I mean, he's not massive. Him next to a proper bodybuilder and he would look small, but he's 55 years old, and this is the main reason I'm doing this video, to see is he actually natural. He actually be natural at 55 and look as good as this. Obviously he's gonna have the best experts training him, and it goes on to what he does and his diet, and he's a paleo. So he's a paleo. If you don't know what paleo is, I've just looked up for you people to actually know what paleo. It is basically a person that eats meat, fish, eggs, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, healthy fats and oils, but they do not eat any sort of processed food. No sugar, no soft drinks, no grains, no dairy products, artificial sweeteners, vegetables, margarine, or trans fats. So basically, pretty much anything which is organic, which is naturally grazed, like meat which is grazed in a field, and they eat only grass you know, stuff like that. You know, pretty much natural food, no man-made food, and he's been doing that for a while. He's, you know, and obviously it's working. I do like this bit. He goes, Grillo mentions that his brother's a vegan. Obviously, they don't eat anything animal, and he shakes his head at him, and he shakes his head at him because he watches the Discovery Channel with his son, and he said, "Look at the cats. They eat nothing but meat, and they are ripped." Basically, so it just shows, yeah, you eat natural foods, which you would have done years and hundreds of years ago, and people was strong, people was big, and you know, they didn't have no processed food, and he's saying that's why he is in his shape. So he's a very down to earth, very like, I don't care what I say. But the main part of this article is what he says about steroids, and it's really interesting. He does not track his calories, he does not track macros, and he says he does not take steroids. So he eyeballs it basically, or he has got a coach who does all that tracking for him, which probably means he doesn't have to track it. So he doesn't need to track his calories, his macros, because obviously the coach is who his personal trainer or whoever is doing his diet plan for him will do that for him. All he will do is just eat the food what the coach says, and you know, cut all that jargon out. I'm going to show you pictures of him when he was younger, in his 20s, from then to now, and see if he's changed in any way. There's not actually that many pictures of him, you know, in his early years, because he wasn't really well known. I think he was a model, because he's got them typical model ones. As you can see, he was a good looking lad, but look at him. He's got that model physique, body look, and he's ripped. He's ripped. I mean, you cannot say he is just average. He's got good muscle to him as well. Like I say, he's not the biggest guy, but he has actually, I would say, from then to now, he's got more grainier. I wouldn't say he's really got any bigger. Obviously he trains, his, you know, veins have popped out. Just because a few more veins have popped out, or he looks a bit more chiseled, it doesn't mean he's bigger. It just means he's more conditioned. And I think from then, when he was younger, I mean, that's 20-30 years ago now, to now, the conditioning, you know, diet plans and that it's just improved so much. So what he was eating then, he was probably just his good metabolism, you know, keeping him in that good shape. Obviously he was eating healthy as well. There was no such thing as paleo and all these fads that he says. He was just eating healthy, and what he's done since then is he just trains and trains. And this is where I want to go through what he's training. He does weights, you know, every week, but he also does a lot of cardio. Like I said, he's ripped. He's not big, he's ripped. And to stay ripped, you have to do a lot of cardio, but he doesn't say how much calories he is eating. He's probably eating a lot of calories to give him that energy. So basically he's just in a maintaining stage. He hasn't got any bigger, but look at his boxing workouts. He does jump ropes, 6 to 10 minutes, different speeds. Then he does shadow boxing. Then he does sparring for 5 rounds. And then he does mitt work. Then he does heavy bag work. Then he does Swiss ball bench press. Then he does Swiss ball fly, whatever that is. Then he does goblet squats, obviously legs. There's pull-ups, planks, crunches. And he does this 7 days a week. That's his standard, just like cardio routine. And then he does obviously his weight training. And you gotta put this into perspective, that if you did this amount of work and ate healthy, if you did this amount of work, you know, in the gym and cardio and ate really clean, you will look like this. There is no question about it. You will look like this. You'll keep whatever muscle mass because you're burning out their muscles completely. He's just doing I would say, just the amount to not burn off muscle. He trains like a boxer. He trains like a boxer. And when do you see any, I would say, undeveloped, not muscly boxers, other than like Tyson Fury? Look at AJ, you know, he's always in good condition, you know, and people even like back in the day, like Ricky Hatton, he went from this to this when he was training to do, you know, a fight. So it can be done, and it doesn't matter what age you're on. Eating healthy does help. If you're eating really, really good food and you're living a healthy lifestyle, you will feel younger. You will actually be healthier probably than you was when you was younger, because the processed food, I know for a fact, if you do eat a lot of processed food, you do feel lethargic, you do feel tired, you feel like you don't want to do anything. Your training is terrible. And when you start eating healthier, when I was cutting, I was actually stronger. I was actually more, you know, like fitter. I felt like I could do more, I could last longer in a gym than I did when I was like on a bulk and eating what I wanted to. So it just shows you that you can actually get in this condition without being on some sort of like steroids. And that's where my conclusion is, that Frank Grillo is completely 100% natural. There is no reason that you can prove that he is fake and he is on some sort of PDs, because we have not got enough evidence. Obviously if he's deadlifting 350 off the floor, if he's benching 250, you know, or more on a bench press, you know, and he's lifting stuff like Larry Wheels is, then yes, he's on something, because that strength for his weight wouldn't be possible. So Frank Grillo, he is 100% natural, and if anybody is watching this in his age bracket, 40s and 30s, and wanting to look at somebody who could inspire you, I would say this person is probably one of the best people to inspire. Just look what he does, follow what he does, and actually put it into your own life and see the results just absolutely blow up. Anyway, if you like this and you want to see another one of these videos, comment down below. Who do you want me to do? Who do you want me to do a natty or not on? There's plenty of people out there who have been criticised for taking something and not admitting it. Just comment down below. Let me know, and I will tell you the honest opinion. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, give me a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you're new. And I will see you next time with another video. Goodbye.